Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A deadly accident. Brand new information tonight into the gun Alec Baldwin fired on a movie set, killing a crew member and injuring another.
The clouds are moving in as we make our way into the weekend, so will we see any rain?
Lead worries in the town of Manchester in Washtenaw County as state officials began testing today after water samples revealed elevated levels of lead in the drinking water. That's all coming up. We're going to begin, though, here at 5 with breaking news after a police chase forces 2 elementary schools to go on lockdown.
And, you know, that leads to some panic for parents as well. Local 4's Mara McDonald live in Garden City tonight. Mara, we've just gotten some good news for those kids and their parents.
That's right. The lockdowns were just lifted within the last 20 minutes, Kimberly, but let me show you what we're dealing with out here that led to all this. Number one, I'm at Middle Belt and Cherry Hill. You can see we've got an active police scene here. We've got people in the back of a squad car as well as a car that's being investigated. Now, take a look further down Middle Belt because that is where police are telling us this whole thing started. What we're hearing from police is that this started as a traffic stop that escalated quickly into someone or a man trying to escape from police. That led to the decision to lock down those schools out of an abundance of caution. But as I just reported, they have opted to finally let those kids out at both Memorial and at Lathers. Parents were allowed to pick up their children within the last half hour. We're waiting for more details from the PD on exactly what went down here, but we've got 2 crime scenes going on. We're live in Garden City right now. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara, now to Manchester in Washtenaw County, where the town of 1,900 people got the news just yesterday that the recent lead testing there showed levels that exceed what are known as the action levels.
And today, state and county workers were there to offer testing and water filters to residents. Rod Maloney is live in Manchester tonight with more.
Yeah, hi, Devin, Kimberly. This is the hottest commodity in Manchester tonight, bottled water. A lot of people wanting to have that security. Also, they like to get those the water filters, and they are available here at the Manchester Township Hall. But here's the interesting thing. For all of the concern about lead in the water these days, they're not that worried here, believe it or not.
I'm ready.
2-year-old Bryn Goodrich wasn't a fan of the finger stick she received today, but her parents were happy to see that she could fill out one of those lead testing cards quickly and reasonably painlessly. Her dad, Seth, found out about the lead level issues last night on Facebook.
It's always alarming. I mean, lead's lead. It's not good, obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
But Washtenaw County Nursing Director Jane Nickert did what she could to calm the nerves.
No, I don't think that people need to be worried.
And that's because it's not the water that she's concerned about. It's lead chips and dust that are the real problem for kids.
Anybody who lives in a pre-78 housing, regardless of the community that they live in, should get their child tested for lead.
When it comes to water, having filters is now important and a great idea. And the village is handing out free water filters and replacement packs for anyone who wants one.
You did great. Yeah.
So what happened here that caused this lead mobilization? More testing and changing methods is turning up higher lead levels. Manchester resident and Washtenaw County Commissioner Shannon Beeman tells Local 4 she's been assured Manchester's problems are not near those of Flint or even Benton Harbor.
That is one of the concerns, is that it's not quite obvious that there's something wrong with your water. It runs clear. You're not seeing debris in the water whatsoever. So there is that concern, but we aren't at those levels of those other areas.
I'm feeling optimistic that it's going to be okay, but obviously we'll see.
Now, for a dad like Seth, the concern is, when will I get my test back? It's going to be in about a week. He'll get a phone call from the health department. And if the elevated levels are there, the child will have to go back in for a blood draw because they want to make sure they didn't get a false positive on those tests. So a little bit of wait here for parents like Seth. Back to you.
Indeed. Well, Rod, do we know how widespread the problem is?
I had a chance to talk to the township or the village supervisor here today, and he told me that they have about 800 houses here and that 89 of them appear to have the problem. And so now they're going about the business of trying to figure out how to trade out those service lines that go from the street to the house. There is state money available for that, and they're going to work on it as soon as they can.
Yeah. Okay, keep us posted, Rod. Thanks.
State of Michigan is reporting 7,505 new coronavirus cases over the past 2 days. So the average right now is at 3,700 cases a day. About 118 more deaths, though, are also being reported, and that includes 69 from a vital records review.
Now take a look at the 7-day moving average to get a better sense of the trend here. And this is actually good news. The average number of cases is below what we've seen over the past 3 weeks. And booster shots are now authorized for all 3 of the COVID-19 vaccines being used here in the U.S. So that opens up the door for more than 30 million Americans who now qualify for a booster dose of Moderna or Johnson & Johnson.
Now today, the White House COVID response team urged those who are eligible to get that booster. They also clarified where they stand on the issue of mixing and matching.
Some people may have a preference for the vaccine type that they originally received because they did very well with their initial series.
The CDC director says her agency is not expressing a preference for which booster recipients get, but acknowledges some want to make a switch.
Now, with 10 months of vaccine experience, some may have an express preference for one booster type over another. FDA's authorizations and CDC's recommendations now allow for this type of mix and match.
A recent study found those vaccinated with Johnson & Johnson got more protection when they received a booster of Moderna or Pfizer.
I think that the extra layer of protection will make us feel more comfortable.
Others may want to choose a booster that minimizes their risk of rare side effects. Cases of myocarditis have occurred more often in young men who receive the mRNA vaccines. Cases of rare blood clots, primarily in younger women who receive J&J. But health officials are stressing boosters are just one piece of a much bigger puzzle.
We will not boost our way out of this pandemic, and no vaccine, even a boosted vaccine, provides 100% protection. So even after you boost, it remains important for us to remain smart about our prevention strategies while we still have over 93% of our counties with high or moderate community transmission.
So with this matter of boosters now settled, the FDA and the CDC are shifting their focus to the vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. Today, Pfizer released 82 pages of data on their pediatric vaccine, and we will dig into what that says coming up in our 6 o'clock report. We have made it to the weekend, so the clouds have rolled in right on time after a beautiful, but it was a chilly morning. There's rumors that there were snowflakes flying in Gaylord today.
Stop it.
It's not
the
far
news
enough away from me.
Want to hear.
Yeah.
Let's get over to Andrew. Friday night football tonight too, Andrew. Folks are going to get rained on?
Well, let's go ahead and dive right in. First, with the snow, remember, folks, Gaylord way north of Detroit and southeast Michigan. No snowflakes right now, but let's get into your forecast for Friday night football. Many of you are still headed out. Grab a jacket, grab a sweatshirt, and grab a knit hat because you want to stay warm while you're cheering in the bleachers, right? Temperatures will be in the upper 40s for kickoff time. Our 4-frenzy game of the week, Grosse Pointe North versus Grosse Pointe South. It remains dry with mostly cloudy skies overhead. Still chilly right now. We've got 50 degrees over on the east side of the city at City Airport. Chillier to our north with 46 in Lapeer, 50 degrees right on the nose in Lenawee County over in Adrian. Clouds are overhead, but no rain falling right now, and we have dry conditions up until about midnight. Then afterward, there might be a scattered sprinkle, and generally we're looking at dry conditions as we go throughout much of Saturday. As we go through these next few hours, we go from upper 40s at kickoff time for many of those games until middle 40s by 11 p.m. and midnight. We'll talk more about the chance of rain for this weekend and where temperatures go from here coming up.
Okay, Andrew. Actor Alec Baldwin says he has no words to convey his shock and sadness over the deadly gun accident that took the life of a crew member.
It's just horrendous. We are now learning that the prop gun on the movie set had a single live round in it. Jennifer Bjorklund is in L.A. tonight as police investigate how this could happen.
We are hearing from Alec Baldwin now, who says he is fully cooperating with the police investigation into what appears now to be a horrible accident.
An emergency call from the set of a Western movie. A prop gun discharged and mortally wounded cinematographer Helena Hutchins, director of photography on the film Rust. She was taken by helicopter to a hospital but did not survive. A statement from her agent's office says the 42-year-old Hutchins was a ray of light, always smiling, always hopeful, and all those in her orbit knew what was coming, a star director of photography who would be a force to be reckoned with. Baldwin also offered his first comments this morning on Twitter, saying, in part, "There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Helena Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours." Also hospitalized from the shooting, director Joel Souza, but he was released today after treatment for undisclosed injuries. The investigators are looking into what kind of projectile came out of the prop gun. The scene, Bonanza Creek Ranch in New Mexico, where Hutchins just a few days ago posted this Instagram video with the caption, "One of the perks of shooting a Western is you get to ride horses on your days off." Actor Jeff Mead was on a different project nearby.
Sheriffs came down, sit on another set. There was a live gun discharge.
This has happened before, most notably in 1993. Actor Brandon Lee, son of icon Bruce Lee, was killed by a prop gun on the film The Crow. His death ruled accidental, and strict new protocols for prop firearms have been in place ever since.
Live ammunition is never allowed on set, and prop handguns are generally handled by a licensed armorer who then oversees everything. So the question is, what went wrong here? In Hollywood, Jennifer Bjorklund, Local 4.
So, all right, Jennifer. Baldwin also says he has been in touch with Hutchins' husband, trying to offer his support to him.
Just awful. The Supreme Court will hear arguments in the Texas abortion law next month, but is allowing the law to remain in place in the meanwhile. Today, the Supreme Court said it will hear arguments on the case on November 1st. Justices say they will decide whether the federal government has the right to sue over the law, which bans abortions as early as 6 weeks. The High Court will also hear arguments in December on a separate Mississippi abortion case. A whole lot more to come here on a Friday. Let's check in with Megan Woods.
There's another vaccine mandate deadline approaching. We tell you where and who's concerned.
Also, we now know who was responsible for that fireball that lit up the sky over Michigan this week. Grant?
A review of COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes finds hundreds of unaccounted for deaths by the state health department. Coming up, what's inside a new letter from the state auditor general and what the health department is saying today.